Heaven's Journey to Life. How Children Are Taught to Lie. Day 88. In and from this post, we're continuing with the process of character creation, where we're going to have a look at what exactly a character is, and what characters in our mind exactly consist of and exist as. Where initially, as children, our characters consist of and exist as the components of memories, experiences, of energy and emotions and feelings, and behaviors, which eventually evolve into a complete mind-physical system consisting of and existing as conscious mind thoughts, subconscious mind internal conversations and backchats, and physical unconscious mind's behaviors and habits of mannerisms and demeanors. Thus, the relationships that exist with our minds, our physical bodies, and this physical existence is important to understand how we use these accepted and allowed relationships to make it possible for us to create, construct, and manifest ourselves into characters and various alternate versions of ourselves in our relationship to our external world and reality and our physical bodies. As always and always, creating and constructing and manifesting alternate versions of ourselves and reality in and as the mind, within and as the primary purpose of establishing ourselves as the main character in the movie of our life existent, within and as our minds only, at the sacrifice of our very beingness, our physical body, and so this physical existence as a whole. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to inequality and oneness with and as life, energy, and substance, the mind and the physical, from the beginning to now, seen, realized, and understood how, as children, the development of our behavior and physical communication originate from A, memories within our unconscious mind of our parents' characters according to how they physically behaved, reacted to, and towards instances and people within their external environment, as well as from B, observation and imitation of our external world reality and behaviors and reactions, with the origination of our behavior and physical communication manifesting from and is initiated by and through reactions and energy experiences that come to permeate and infiltrate our mind-physical relationship, that initiate and instigate physical behaviors and movements that we copy from our internal and external worlds and realities, where our behaviors and physical communications is thus not an equal and one expression with our physical bodies, inequality and oneness, but is always instigated and initiated by and through characters of memories, fueled by and through energy experiences of emotions and feelings that drive and direct our physical behavior and communication. Thus, our entire self, construction and creation processes within our minds as characters will within and throughout our lives come to create, evolve, and physically embody from our interrelationships between our external and internal realities. With our relationship to our external reality, whatever we physically see within our mind physical eyes, within and between the two eye blinks, we will capture as present moments of physical reality and store as pixels within the interdimensional physical glass window pane within our unconscious and physical mind, where such pixels as memories of present moments of physical reality will come to serve as pieces and parts as the past manifest that we'll use to create and manifest our own scenes within our minds, with ourselves as the main character, actor, and actress. Thus, we use present moments of actual physical reality in our relationship to the external physical world and reality in such present moments to pixelate within our minds to create and manifest our own alternate version of actual physical reality and our relationship to and towards it, so that in our minds we can manifest our own alternate reality and illusion from and of actual reality and physicality to within this alternate reality of the mind construct, manifest, and create ourselves and reality however we want, need, and desire ourselves to be in relationship to actual physical reality, everything, and everyone else within it. As in the mind reality, we can mold, shape, warp, change, and alter ourselves and actual physical reality to our mind's will and intent, where, because our mind only exists in relationship to ourselves in the physical body, our internal reality and alternate reality will always only serve the will and intention and interest of ourselves and ourselves alone. Within this process, not seeing, realizing, and understanding how we have, as the mind consciousness, evolved our relationship with ourselves to the physical body and this physical existence to only use it as an external platform we pixelate into our internal platform as the mind, capturing present moment of ourselves in relationship to the external reality and everything and everyone within it to use in our processes of constructing and manifesting our internal reality as a reality where only we thrive and exist as the main character. Thus, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how and why we essentially take the equality and oneness of here, of physical reality and external reality, where if we were to really live in and as it, in equality and oneness, we'd experience, move, and communicate with all here in the moment, in equality and oneness, with no one being more and less than another, but instead have abdicated this responsibility of equality and oneness, separating ourselves from and of it in our mind physical relationship to in our alternate reality as the mind, establish ourselves in relationship to and with physical reality, participation and interaction as the main character. As in and as our mind's alternate reality, we can establish ourselves as more and less in relationship to our external world and reality and everything and everyone within it according to what relationship of ourselves to our external world and reality will best serve and suit only our interest, intentions, and purposes of wants, needs, and desires. Essentially, constructing and manifesting an alternate reality and version of reality within our minds, where we can be and see however we want only ourselves to be and see ourselves, others, the external world and reality, owning our own reality of ourselves, others, and actual physical reality within ourselves as the mind. Deliberately not wanting to consider equality and oneness here within all and every moment of breath, as this may and might mean that I cannot alter, change, mold, and shape myself, others, and actual physical reality to suit and serve only me, within myself and my mind as my wants, needs, desires, and interests only. I commit myself to show how, in this process of only taking present moments of physical reality, which with such present moments existing as a live photograph and picture that is transformed into a memory manifestation and pixel within our mind physical relationship, with such a memory as present moment as live photograph and picture, consisting of and existing as a moment of who we were in relationship to our external world, reality, and person within that moment that we take such present moments where we physically interact with another person, our external physical world and reality, and pixelate it into and as present moment memories that manifest as remembrances and reminders of who we were in relationship to a person and our external world and reality, where within our mind physical relationship, we never in fact really participate in actual real physical reality and with a person in a present moment, because all that we're preoccupied with in that present moment is transforming it into memories and pixels within our minds, recording our who we are in relationship to the person and external environment that we'll come to use in our minds and alternate reality with our awesome special powers of changing, warping, misconstruing that present moment as memory in our minds according to our will and intentions to best suit our wants, needs, desires, and intentions according to how we want to see ourselves in relationship to a person and the external world and reality. And so our relationship within ourselves as the mind to the external physical world and reality and people within it is taking present moments into ourselves within the mind so that we can mold, change, shape, and alternate it, where we can create and manifest complete alternate versions from and of what actually really in fact happened within and as actual real physical reality which within this I commit myself to show how and why this comes to be one of the origins of how we as children learn to lie. As we take present moments of actual physical reality playouts and situations, manifest them as memories in our minds, with the memories containing who we were in relationship to a situation and person, and will accordingly, when confronted by such memories of past situations and playouts by our parents, especially when we know, for example, that in the past present moment, as memory, what we did and who we were was dishonest and deceptive, we'd in the memory within our minds in quantum time change the entire scenario and situation and who and how we were within it, and speak that altered memory from our minds as who we are, completely manifesting and becoming the altered memory within our mind as the reality of what happened, when it is in fact not. And will reiterate that altered memory with all our might and power to have the parent believe that our altered memory and version of what happened is real and reality, when in actual physical reality it was not. Which within this brings us into question, aren't we all then liars? With the extent to which we warp, change, mold, and alternate what in fact happened in actual physical reality, and who and how we were within it, to in our memories construct an alternate version of reality and who and how we were within it, to only serve our own interest and protect and defend only our own wants, needs, desires, and intentions? Where, as we continue within this blog, the process of character creation, how we create and manifest ourselves in reality and others into lies and illusions within our own minds, within the evil nature of ourselves as the mind's relationship to the physical, that reverse life and live into evil and illusion and lies, for the benefit and purposes of our own, of only our own experiences within our own minds, which will, within this show, reveal and expose the reality of who we are as the mind, as the lie we have become and now live and exist as, in and as the extent to which we've come to lie and deceive ourselves in accepting and allowing ourselves to be live, believe that the mind is real when it's in fact always been the illusion that's dependent on its existence from and of the reality of the physical body in this physical existence. And so why and how the very nature of ourselves as the mind, we've become liars, deceivers, and manipulators as ourselves, and so towards others and all of existence as ourselves. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to inequality and oneness, with and as life, energy, and substance, the mind and the physical from the beginning to now, seen, realized, and understood our entire self construction and creation processes within our minds as characters will within and throughout our lives come to create, evolve, and physically embody from our interrelationships between our external and internal realities. With our relationship to our internal reality, where instead of us existing in an equal and one relationship with our beingness, and with our beingness emerge in an equal and one merging and manifestation with our physical bodies, within our inception and conception processes, within the womb of the female and birthed into existence into the physical, as the physical, we've abdicated this equality and oneness into and as the separation of our beingness into and as an interdimensional and dimensional mind that exist in the reversing of life and live as substance and physicality into and as evil and energy as we come to within and as the mind reverse our relationship with our beingness in our physical body and this physical existence from equality and oneness into and as separation to create and construct and manifest our own alternate reality and versions of ourselves as characters within our minds, and so alternate versions of actual physicality and others within it. And additionally, within and as this mind, instead of existing in equality and oneness with our beingness and physical body, we've abdicated this responsibility of equal and one living to consciousness that reverse live, life, and substance of our beingness, physical body, and this physical existence into and as energy and pixels and memories as the components and manifestations we use to create, construct, and manifest our own alternate reality and versions of ourselves within our minds. And additionally, within this, we prepared an alternate reality platform within our unconscious mind as our parents' minds of memories and characters as a base and database we will use to construct and manifest our own alternate reality platform from our unconscious mind to eventually the subconscious mind and conscious mind, where thus our entire process into this existence within our inception and conception process and relationship of the mind to the physical, we've only come to create our internal alternate reality and versions of ourselves, reality and others, to in this creation process within the alternate reality of the mind, only create a reality within the mind that serves us and us alone, with no consideration, regard, care for the physical body, actual human beings, and this physical existence as a whole, as we come into this world to only create an alternate reality of ourselves, within ourselves, as the mind, in which only we exist and experience ourselves and can have only our wants, needs, and desires tended to and fulfilled at the sacrifice of our physical bodies and this physical existence. As all human beings have become preoccupied with the creation of an alternate reality of and as the mind within themselves only, that serve only themselves, with no human being ever standing in equality and oneness with themselves, the physical body, and so this physical existence to commit themselves and their lives to serving at and as living with all that is here, to in fact create an existence that is real, eternal, and substantial. Where in this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how and why, from our unconscious mind, we in the beginning establish our who we are in our physical behavior and reactions as characters in our relationship to people and environments in our world, where we primarily draw from our parents' alternate reality platform as memories and characters within our unconscious mind that we come to physically embody from where our subconscious mind evolve and manifest as characters of behaviors and reactions we created and manifested from our parents' memories and characters that we've accepted as primary characters we'd most often embody and use in our relationships to people and environments in our external world and reality and the conscious mind that become the automated thought circulation system that is connected to all the characters in our subconscious and unconscious mind. We've accepted as the primary main characters we come to physically, habitually live out and embody. With the conscious mind thought circulation system, the domain in which we constantly and continuously remind ourselves of our characters in our mind physical relationship within the subconscious and unconscious mind, and keep them activated and activate. We will, in posts to come, in detail walk this process of our character creations from the unconscious to the subconscious and conscious mind, in why and how, for example, our character creations have to be maintained with a constant and continuous process of thought circulation within the conscious mind. And so I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how and why we have an entire alternate reality system and database within us as the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind, where only we exist as main characters in multi-dimensions into and as which we've separated our beingness, our physical bodies, and this physical existence. As we create and manifest a multitude of alternate versions of ourselves as characters within our minds where instead of us trusting ourselves here in our equal and one relationship and living with our beingness to the physical body and so this physical existence, we've placed our responsibility, trust, and directive principle into and as our character creation system and machine, within and as our alternate reality as the mind, to create and construct and manifest our who we are in relationship to others and the external environment to serve only our wants, needs, and desires and intentions where we've separated ourselves into the mind and consciousness to such an extent that we are not even aware of this character creation process, as is automated by consciousness within and as our minds, where we do not even have control, directive principle, will, or choice within our own alternate reality and illusion as the mind, let alone the actual real reality of our beingness, the physical body, and this physical existence. And thus, within this comes the question, what and who are we if we do not even have directive principle, will, or choice in illusion as the alternate reality and existence of ourselves within the mind, where all of ourselves as the characters we create, manifest, and construct in our minds is automated by and through consciousness as a multitude of alternate versions of ourselves in separation from our equality and oneness within as our beingness, the physical body, and so this physical existence. I commit myself to show the extent of separation we've created and manifested from ourselves, where all we've done within this existence from the beginning is create separation, and in that separation creation became our very creations of and as separation. As, for example, from the beginning, in the relationship between energy and substance, the moment we as substance accepted and allowed ourselves to split and separate ourselves into energy and substance, we from that moment lost all directive principle of ourselves as energy and as substance, as they would become two separate manifestations of ourselves, with awarenesses unto themselves individually. And so from that moment, lost all directive principle, will, and choice in this relationship of ourselves between energy and substance. As now seen within the mind's relationship to the physical body, this physical existence, where we have no directive principle, will, or choice in either realities and manifestations, as the mind has a consciousness and awareness onto itself, as a physical body has an awareness onto itself, where we are existing in an illusion and alternate reality as the mind, as well this as well is physical reality, with no presence and awareness and equality and oneness in either realities, as the mind has come to automatically exist, as the physical has come to automatically exist. As we had evolved into and as the very separation we created from the beginning, as the mind's relationship to the physical and this physical existence, losing all control within and as that accepted and allowed relationship, where within this, the entirety of who we are in the mind, as characters, we separate ourselves into and as a multitude of alternate versions of ourselves, where we do not even have control and directive principle and will and choice within who we are as those characters and alternate versions of ourselves in the illusion and alternate reality of our mind, because we were never, in fact, aware. Here, in the processes involved in the creation and manifestation of ourselves in and as the mind. And thus, within this, I commit myself to show that as long as we accept and allow this relationship of separation within and between the two realities as the mind and the physical that is currently existent within a parasitic relationship as energy, consume, and reverse substance and life into and as evil, as the reverse we've been creating in energy and mind's relationship to the substance and physicality, nothing will and can change within this existence, as we must take responsibility for both realities as energy and mind, and substance and physicality, as it is ourselves we've split ourselves into and lost directive principle of, and as within and as that split and separation of the awareness of ourselves in equality and oneness. And thus is the process of walking, writing, self-forgiveness and self-corrective application as the mind and the physical body, as energy and as substance, taking responsibility for both realities as ourselves to align ourselves from the split of awareness into two realities, to merge here with the actual real reality as the physical in this physical existence, as substance, as the actual origin and starting point of ourselves within existence. To in this, stop the accepted and allowed consequential relationship between the mind and the physical, and really, in fact, live here in establishing our living, in taking responsibility for ourselves, our physicals, each other, and this physical existence as a whole. We'll, in the next post, continue with a practical example in how we use the interrelationships between the mind, our beingness, the physical body, and this physical existence in the process of character creation and alternate versions of ourselves and reality into and as illusion. And within this, practical examples of the process of assisting and supporting self in taking responsibility for the internal and external world and reality as the mind, and the physical as energy and substance, so that we walk ourselves from the separation between the realities of energy and substance, no more accepting and allowing such an existence of ourselves of separation, and establish our equality and oneness here with the physical body and this physical existence as what is supposed to have been from the beginning.